This is Cheryl Wortman from the OrleansHub.com Sports. We are here today to have a few good minutes with Epson Tour golf professional Melanie Green. I had to write this out because I'll never remember everything. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule, which is very, very busy. Congratulations on turning pro. And you've had a memorable 2024. Very memorable. Let's go back in the past a little bit. Back when you were a senior in high school, we're going to take you way back.
Okay, so I remember.
Well, you were going to go for a three-peat for state championship. And COVID hit, and you lost that chance.
Rona.
Were you disappointed?
I mean, sure, yeah. But I think at that point I wasn't like super focused on, I can repeat or do any of that. It was just kind of like, oh, bummer. Like, okay, now I'm going to college. It wasn't
a big deal.
Yeah, I don't hold it too high on the priority list. I try to do that with everything. If you put so much stuff on a high pedestal, like, you're gonna get let down or something's gonna happen, right? So I try to just kind of go with the ebbs and flows, and yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but I mean, I still got two, and that's still kind of cool. So.
Okay. Then you spent your next 4 years at University of South Florida, became their #1 golfer.
Yeah.
And you got to go to tournaments, had a win, played in the NCAAs, you were an All-American. How was your college experience?
I love my college experience. The last, I guess I would say the middle 2 years were just phenomenal. Like the teams that we had, the personalities that we had, the characters that we all kind of blended together was quite an experience. You're going there to play golf, yes, but obviously all of us come from different backgrounds. I mean, there was some people from South Korea, there was people from Burma, Myanmar. So we had a bunch of different people, right? So me traveling all the way from Medina, right? Like there's a lot of people that aren't close to home, you know, so you have to somehow create a family out there. And I felt like we did a really good job my sophomore and junior year. Even my senior year was awesome too. So I did end on a high note, which is good, because, playing and stuff like that, everybody talks, and there's a lot of times that girls don't have the best, off the golf course experience, which if you're not building a community, if you're not building a family out there, it's really hard to stay positive. I mean, you lean on them a lot, right? Like if you have a bad round, you come off the golf course, like you want somebody there to make you laugh, to take you out of the moment that you just had with yourself not playing well, So I think overall my college experience was phenomenal. I played good golf and I had really good people around me, so I'm very fortunate about that. And it's funny because when I was there, and after the golf course, after the tournaments are done, like coaches would even notice, like, wow, USF has the most energetic team. Like their team seems to love each other, and the other teams knew that, the players too. Like I don't know how many compliments I got from, like, wow, your team always looks so happy, like when they're around each other. Like I wish I had that, so to have and create that environment where even the other teams notice that you're having a good time, like that's pretty special. So I'm super grateful for the opportunity to go down to Florida, because I'm still down there, and I'm super grateful for every personality and every character that came in, because they did shape me and mold me into the person I am today, and taught me things, life things. So. And
your coach got a promotion by going to Georgia, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No. She took it a step further. But yeah, proud of her for it, and happy for both of them.
Okay, you graduated in May, and this is where I say the fun really begins.
Yeah.
Because you got selected for Arnold Palmer Cup for the USA in Ireland, USA for the Curtis Cup. You won the British Women's Amateur, and you played in the Monday Evian in France, the U.S. Women's Amateur, and the Women's Canadian Open. That's a lot of golf to play week after week after week. Did you feel like you got tired, burned out, or anything from playing that much golf? Because Tulsa was very hot that week.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, no, because there was weeks in between, and most of it was travel, yes. But to be honest with you, I think I was on the high of adrenaline, And I mean, traveling and competing at the levels that I was competing at, it wasn't tiring for me. It was a lot of fun. There was weeks that I had caddies. There was weeks that I carried the bag. So I mean, there was fluctuation. So honestly, when you kind of dream about it like that, and you're trying to go to the next level, if you get tired over a summer that I had, I don't know if you're quite ready to take the next step, right? So. But yeah, I had a blast. Even the parts where I wasn't, competing at the highest level, I was still competing with the players that are competing at the highest level. So yeah, just my whole 2024 summer was one for the books.
Let's see. We watched the British Women's Amateur as much as we could, and those commentators, they loved you.
Yeah.
And they were amazed that you did that whole week without a caddy.
Yeah. It was funny. So the tournament director there, who I have his WhatsApp, we occasionally chat, Niall, he was awesome. It was funny. So he's the tournament director, right? And we had marshals throughout the last, I guess the final and the semifinal. And they were kind of keeping the crowds back with like a little rope. And then I had like a personal marshal to escort me through, because there's no like cart paths over there. Like, a golf course that you see out here, it's not like what you saw out there, right? Like, it's just, they're all the tee boxes are right next to the greens. Like, so anyway, so I had a personal marshal, and every time, I made a conscious effort, to say thank you, thanks Kevin, like, thanks for, doing all the things, whatever, trying to get me through, and, not having anybody have to move out of the way. Like, we move around people, right? And I would always say, thanks, Kevin. And it was funny because Niall was like, where's the thanks, Niall? I'm getting all these people, blah, 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 whatever. It was just funny. But everybody kind of welcomed me with an open arm, even on the first practice round. I tried to make an effort to go around to all the people on the tee, because there was a lot of people from the RNA. There was a lot of people from Port Mornick, right? So, like, there was two teams coming together to try to make something special at this tournament. So I always made an effort to go around and, say thanks, good morning, good morning, good morning, fist bump everybody. And I guess they really liked that. And one of the guys, his name was Dave, he, it was funny, every time I showed up on the tee, because it's a match play tournament, people don't come back. You go out there, and if you're coming back, you'll be on the next tee the next morning. If you don't, you're not, like, you leave for the next tournament, or you go home, whatever. And it was funny because every single time you showed up, like, you're still here, you're still here. And it was like a running joke at the end of the tournament. I got the trophy, and he's like, you're still here, kid, and it was just, so it was really special. The fans treated me like I was one of their own. The last match was heated, but I mean, I didn't pay too much attention to the crowds all week, just because, I was pretty in the zone. It was kind of crazy, but yeah, no, there wasn't too much of a bias, from her being over on that side of the ocean and me being over here, right? So, but yeah, no, I felt the love all week, and it was crazy because the little kids were even like, like with their accents. It was just adorable.
Yeah, you get quite a few little kids that were following you, and they'd interview them, and it was quite the deal.
Yeah,
it had to be quite exciting when you put that cup in your hand. And
no, it was the whole tournament was just really surreal. Like, really got to give all the glory to the Lord, because that was just an incredible week. And looking back, like, there's shots, like, if I watch the rerun, like, I'll be like, oh, I remember that, but like, catch me in between the shots, and I'm like, I don't know what the heck I was thinking, like, it was just blank slate, which is what you want as a golfer, right? But yeah, no, it was a pretty supernatural week. It was awesome.
That you did on a whim.
Yeah, I did do it on a whim.
maybe that helped, because you did it on a whim. You could just go in and play.
I mean, it wasn't a total. It wasn't a total win. I did plan for it, because the flights over there are pretty expensive, and trying to get a place to stay and all this stuff. So that wasn't, it wasn't a total whim, I guess, but it wasn't planned months and months in advance. Correct. But yeah, no, me going over there, it was like for me to practice, but yeah, no, I really embraced the inner, I guess, United Kingdom win. But I guess I shouldn't even say that, because it's just Ireland. But yeah, no, I just really embraced the whole thing, and I just tried to have fun, to be honest with you. Like, just because you can't play standard golf over there, you have to learn how to play with the wind. You can't fight it,
Yeah.
or else you will lose.
Yeah, and there's a lot of roughs and
Yeah.
ups and hills and
Yeah. Yep. Lots of high grass, so you gotta hit in the fairway. But yeah, lots of wind, so you gotta, there's times that I was playing it off the green, and I was anticipating the wind to take it back, and sure enough, a lot of times it did, so it was a lot of fun.
You've played some of the most famous golf courses that any everyday duffer has on their bucket list. You've played Pebble Beach. I think when you were in
Pebble, I played the sister golf course.
the sister.
Yeah.
But you played, and you got to play at Augusta, even though you didn't make that cut. But you got to play in Augusta, and you played in North Carolina, and you played in Europe. Is there a favorite golf course?
I honestly, I have to say Port Barnack just because I won on it, right? Like, that golf course treated me the best. I mean, I almost hate to say this, but Augusta was probably the best kept. So Augusta was pretty phenomenal. I wish I would have played the actual tournament, but it's fine. And then, yeah, I mean, they all have their unique things, right? Like, over in Ireland, you're not going to get that kind of golf course over here. You're just never going to. It's a links style golf course that you'll never find in America. I mean, Chambers Bay is probably the closest one to it, where they played the 2015 US Open, where Jordan won. So that one was pretty awesome. Augusta was great. Pinehurst, I've always loved Pinehurst. I play better on number 2 compared to the other golf courses. I don't quite understand that. I think it's because I have to focus more. But yeah, no, I've been very blessed and fortunate to be able to play some of the best golf courses in the world. So.
You came home, and before starting your Q school tournaments, you had some doubts whether you really wanted to continue to become a pro. But through your faith and some spiritual guidance, you renewed your desire to play pro and follow your dream.
Yeah. And it wasn't necessarily a doubt. It was the desire to go to Bible school was very fresh, and I knew I was called to go to Bible school, and I knew I really wanted to go to Bible school. So it wasn't that I didn't want to play golf. It was that I really wanted to do what the Lord called me to do, and I wasn't. Not that I wasn't sure, but I didn't have a clear depiction of that's what I was supposed to do, and how it worked out. The call is to play golf, and I'll stay in golf until he tells me otherwise. But yeah, no, it's kind of funny how it worked out. Not really, but a few months before, I was having a conversation with my teammate Leo. Old teammate, best friend now. She's in Portugal, and she was like, if the Lord told you to, oh my God, there's my brother-in-law. If my, oh no, it's not. If the Lord told you to quit golf, would you do it? And I was like, I mean, I'd really like to say that, if the Lord told me to do anything, I was going to do it. So she's like, okay, she thought it was like cool at the moment, like, oh my gosh, if the Lord told her to quit golf, she would do it, And sure enough, my test, are you going to keep your word, right? But no, I'm super grateful for how it all worked out, because here's the thing is, going through that, people take things for granted and all that stuff, right? But the Lord gifted me with a tremendous gift, and He's gifted me a lot of grace, an equivalent to the measure of that gift, right? So I've got grace, and I've got the gift, and I've got a wonderful community around me that pushes me to be the best that I can be every day. So yeah, I'm grateful for how it all worked out, looking back. But yeah, in the moment, I was very much like, well, I'll give it up. I'll give it up to the Lord. I know He loves me and I love Him, so that's how it worked out.
Hey, that's all you can hope for. You turned pro, joined the Epson Tour while you were trying to get your LPGA card. You came up just short. We watched the leaderboards. What do you feel you need to work on in your game so that next year when you can qualify for LPGA? What do you feel you got to work on to be better?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really blasé answer, but I mean everything, right? Like, I think the part of my game that's proven itself to be, I guess, the strongest is my ability to get the ball on the green. I think if we can, I mean, everybody says this, right? But if I can start seeing myself make a few more putts, but then I also don't want to put that much pressure on my putting too, right? But just really making sure that it's sound everywhere, right? Like minimizing the possibilities to make high numbers, things like that. Just like, I mean, everything, right? Like my mental game obviously needs to improve just a little bit, right? I don't know specifically what to even say mentioning my mental game, but everything. I mean, everything could use improvement. You're not in golf. You might be called a professional, but that doesn't make you a master, which I love, right? Like you're always chasing. You're never gonna have the same game 2 days in a row. Like something's gonna tweak, right? Like you're moving your body and you're standing in one place. So it's really hard to, obviously you can create a swing that you see, similarities and it looks like somebody's swing when they swing, right? But a lot can happen from here to here, right? Like, so, just everything. Just the ability to get the ball in the hole. Everybody needs to get better at it, so.
And maybe when you get to the first rounds, maybe a little stronger in the first round. That's always to me seemed to be your one.
I mean, when you're looking at that one tournament, yes. But I mean, if you look back, I tend to finish stronger, yes. But I mean, you can also look at Tiger Woods. He never started out he was never one to be at the top of the leaderboard in the first round, right? So I think the first round is obviously, yes, you're trying to make the most of it, but you're basically not trying to shoot yourself in the foot like what I did. I mean, historically, if we were to map down every first round, every last round, and every second and third, I don't know that you would see that much of a correlation. The scores are going to get better, but yeah.
You come from a small town. Medina is a very small town. What adjustments have you had to make as far as, okay, you go to Florida, that's a big adjustment. Going to these tournaments, that's a big adjustment. Is it tougher for, say, somebody that comes from a small town compared to, say, even Bailey Shoemaker, your favorite nemesis, to come from a larger town or California or whatever she is now? Is that a tough adjustment coming?
Well, I'll mention the community that I had that I mentioned about earlier. You need people around you that will keep you humble. Bottom line. Bailey Shoemaker's doing great over in California. She moved down to Florida before she went over to California, I should say. But she's doing great over there. And I love Bailey. Yeah, we had our moments of rivalry, but
even this year, you had a chance you might have gotten to play against her again.
Yeah, I saw her a few times this year. Sweet girl. Anything that happened in the past, like whatever, we were kids, like. She's a great kid. And then, coming from a small town, I mean, if you start actually asking around, like, where people come from, what I noticed is that Medina is actually not, like, that small. Like, there's 6,000 people here. There was times that I'd come across people, and they had 20 people in their graduating class, and that humbles you right there. It's like, and what's great is the Lord put those people in my life to be like, look, I didn't bring you from the smallest. Like I brought you from a community to take you to another community that was going to make you get better, right? Like, and a part of it is the weather up here. I can't keep chasing the rest of my life, right? Like at some point I have to get myself to a level playing field, and then I have to, blow by them, right? But yeah, no, Medina's small, but I think sometimes people don't give it enough credit because there's a lot of people here. I understand that 150 graduating class is not very big, right? But there's a lot of places that people come from, and there's 5, there's 20, so it's crazy. There is a lot smaller, But Medina did what it was supposed to do for the first 18 years of my life, and I'm super grateful for it. 'Cause everybody needs small beginnings, right? But yeah, no, I don't think it was too much of an adjustment, just because at USF I wasn't in the heart of Tampa either. It was just the university, and I was with my teammates all the time, which is only 8. So that was pretty small, and that helped things out. But yeah, no, if you don't have the people around you to kind of humble yourself and keep you in the very present moment, then yeah, I don't know what would have happened if I didn't have those people around me. So super grateful for them, and I'm just super grateful that I did come from here, because then I know what is other places. Because a lot of people from here, they've never traveled.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's a whole world out there that you have not seen, you know? So I'm just super blessed that I've been able to travel and see all these places, because it makes you more appreciative of where you came from and where you're going.
Do you have any sponsors lined up now that, like, you sponsorships for your shirts, hats,
Yeah.
paying for some of your trips?
Yeah, so I met a friend at it was actually the USF Men's Conference Championships. I met a friend, his name is Randy Ware. He's the CEO and founder of a medical sales company in Clearwater, Florida, which is an hour away from where I was. So it's just kind of funny how the Lord kind of orchestrated that. But yeah, so he's somebody that is willing and wanting to help in any way, shape, or form. So that's cool. I would love to get like Mars. This is my shout out right here. I haven't ever really said that to anyone other than my brother-in-law and my parents, but I would love to get like somewhere from Medina. Like, I think that would be really cool. Or if I could get, I've seen people with, New England, like Alexa Hanna, she has a New England, like the football team, on her bag. Like, if I could get the Bills or something, like the Bills emblem on my bag, like, that'd be really cool, I think. So yeah, I think it would be, or it's important or something. That's Canada though. I know that we have one in Medina, but yeah, no, if I could get somewhere like from Medina or around this area, I feel like that would be really cool. But to answer your question, I don't have any I'm signed a $3 million contract with Adidas, so I haven't done any of that. But yeah, no, I have a few people that are, and I also have just the people around me too that are like, yep, whatever you need, like, I'll help you out. Like, Shellridge has helped a lot, which is kind of crazy. People probably don't know that, but yeah, no, just here and there. It's not one or two specific names.
And from what I heard from your mom, you're getting lined up for what tournaments you're going to be playing next year?
Yeah, we're in the talks about making my schedule. Yep.
So when you start back up again, February or March or?
Technically the Epson starts in March. I'm going to try to get into events. There's some events that I'm looking at in January, and I'm sure I'll try to find some. I'll try to one day qualify for some on the LPGA. Yeah.
You'll get there, right?
Yeah.
Hey, this isn't my final thing. The people in Medina and Orleans County have been 100% behind you the last 4 years, as the Facebook post comments that we get on the hub have shown. Is there something you would like to say to those people?
Try to get into words. As I was talking about earlier, humble beginnings, right? Like, a lot of people, face the, wow, you're not good enough or whatever. And kind of since I went to college, I have maybe disconnected a little more than maybe I'd like or anything like that. But the fact that, occasionally my mom and my dad, my mom works as a mail carrier, right? So she sees a lot of people just on her mail route, right? Like, and the fact that, I swear, it seems like every day, everybody's like, how's Mel doing? Is Mel doing all right? Like, and so, I mean, that's awesome. When people are asking about you, and they haven't seen you in months, I mean, that's pretty awesome. And I think it's funny because I think they also look at it like, she's putting Medina on the map. I've heard that a bunch, which is really funny. But yeah, no, I'm really appreciative. I mean, some names that I always hear that are asking about me, other than other than people that I treat like family, right? Like Cal Tui is always asking about me, right? Like just like things like that. It's really cool. And a lot of these people went to school with my dad's more specifically. My mom went to Albion, but yeah, no. The fact that a lot of people are still asking about me, just because the news has been down in Florida, right? So the fact that it travels up this far, and it's not like my parents are the ones that are blasting it out all the time. There's people like you that are no. Listen, like, there's this girl that's down in Florida. She's one of us, Like, I think that's really cool. And yeah, from the bottom of my heart, I thank all of you guys that have made such a tremendous effort, to keep my name still kind of floating around the town, I don't ask for any of it. I don't need my name blasted, but the fact that you guys still do it is pretty cool. So I thank everybody that sent even a message to my mom personally, how's Mel doing, asking about me. The fact that I'm in y'all's thoughts is very special to me. So yeah, I hope that I keep making y'all proud, and yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
Yeah.
Have a good 2025, and we look forward to following you next year.
Appreciate y'all.